Gather around, fellow gamers. Stoke up that campfire, warm up some marshmallows, and gather around again, because I'm gonna tell you the story about what I learned playing Ghost of Tsushima. But just a quick spoiler warning before we get into it. If you haven't played through at least the first act of the game and you were planning to, get out of here, silly. Click up there for another video and come back when you're ready, because I don't want you getting spoiled like some nasty chunky milk. Ugh. As for the rest of you, I hope you're sitting nice and comfy. And if you need some extra cushion, don't forget to hit the subscribe button for smoother buns. Now I'm gonna end up going pretty deep in this video, but if you can't swim, don't worry. I'll start us off easy at the shallow end of the pool, so just pop some arm floaties on and let's dive in. Ghost of Tsushima follows the story of Jin Sakai, a samurai bad boy trying to defend his island of Tsushima from the invading Mongols. In true Batman fashion, spoiler, both of Jin's parents are now dead, and they have been for a while now, which leaves him in the hands of his uncle Lord Shimura. But you probably knew all that. You already knew that Jin was taught the Bushido Code, or Way of the Warrior. His uncle had taught him to live this way so that Jin could live a shameless life. One of integrity, respect, loyalty and honesty, heroic courage, compassion, and most importantly, honor. As you know, samurais live and die by this code of honor. They never stray from it, always staying rigid and loyal to their rules even when the cards are not in their favor. To the players who are aware of it, this game delivers a message that goes beyond just good storytelling. Now this is gonna sound cornier than a bag of Kellogg's cereal, but I think the people who will benefit the most from the underlying theme of the game are all of the dreamers out there. I'm talking about my digital artists, my game developers, fashion designers, TikTokers, YouTubers, writers, photographers, Broadway performers, athletes, frickin' crochet knitters, dude. Anybody with a dream to make a living doing something that society deems as special or abnormal. And even if you don't classify yourself as a dreamer, you might still get something out of it. The game drives home a crystal clear message, and while I might be heavily paraphrasing it here, I believe the general gist of it is something like, man, fuck tradition. Now, when I say tradition, I don't mean traditions like celebrating the holidays or attending your family's annual goat racing extravaganza. No, keep those. Those sound fun. Maybe invite me next time. What I mean is the traditional way of doing things in life, staying on the acceptable path you've been taught to follow because it's the safest, and everyone else is doing it. In Jin's world, this is following the Bushido Code, and the consequences for breaking this code is usually death. By self-disembowelment. Fun stuff, real fun stuff. In the modern world, the consequences are a little less dramatic. At least I hope so. In Ghost of Tsushima, it's made very apparent as to what is acceptable and what is not. Jin's uncle makes his rules and his disappointments clear. Samurai are to face their opponents directly. They look them in the eyes and give them a warrior's death. They don't use fear tactics to dominate opponents. But the Mongols come and they're all like,
"Outsiders! Send your finest warrior to face me!"
Get a load of this guy! Splash. Burn. Slice. Thank you, really, I couldn't have done it without you, you're too kind. With his uncle captured and nearly losing his own life, Jin is clearly outnumbered. He only has a ragtag team of thieves and some old family friends to help him fight against an army of Mongols.
I promised my uncle I'd never break our code.
Then bend it. To save my family. And what's left of yours.
Jin is completely out of his comfort zone. He's kind of forced out of it, really. He's forced to start thinking on his own and move away from the structure he's followed because his enemies don't honor the same thing. To me, this is kind of like the internet nowadays. It forced a lot of people to adapt, and the ones that didn't got left behind. Sometimes you gotta make up some cool new rules to follow or your old ones will kill you. So that's what Jin does, and it starts to really concern the Khan. Jin's old Unki Shimura, on the other hand, follows tradition blindly. He doesn't take a look around to accept reality because he has too much faith in the old way of doing things. He's willing to send soldiers to a needless death and sacrifice countless lives in order to win by his way.
You sent our men to die.
They are soldiers.
Their blood is on our hands.
Now can I get a knee slap for one stubborn son bitch? Yes, he is. If it wasn't for Jin taking the code and throwing it in the trash, he would have stayed stuck in that jail cell and starved to death. And what really irks me is the way he treats Jin afterwards. It's all high and mighty like, you don't know shit and I know better. Sir? You disrespectful. Now, do I need to be reminded that breaking the Bushido code is basically suicide? No, but so is this. Jin makes his peace with the consequences, knowing that death will meet him regardless. He sacrifices his tradition in order to save the entire population of Tsushima. Now that's honor. So can I get another knee slap for this honorable man? Can I get a... If this game taught me anything, is that it's okay to not always follow the rules and standards of everyone else. At least not all the time. Sometimes the beaten path fucking sucks and it's full of shitty potholes that nobody bothers to fix, and you might get stuck in one, so you spend more time trying to avoid them than just working towards your goals. Sometimes you've got to make your own path and be a little metaphorically dangerous and risky. There are few things more empowering than living a life by your own standards, even if it means you gotta be the bad guy for the best outcome. I've learned that sometimes, to avoid losing yourself or losing your way, you gotta bend some rules and break certain habits in order to survive as a person. If you only do things the way others want you to do them, it can start to chip pieces of yourself away. It's tough to break out of it, but sometimes it's for the best. There'll be naysayers and doubters, but hey, I guarantee you'll find people along the way that encourage and believe in you. So hang on to those people, and take care of them as they do for you. And if you find yourself being an Uncle Shimura to somebody else and invalidating their hard work because it wasn't done the right way, maybe take a step back and look around, buddy. You might be an asshole. At least acknowledge the work and effort of the person in front of you, because constantly putting them down regardless of what they do might end up pushing that person away for good.
I sacrificed everything I knew to save our people. I gave them hope. You did nothing! No. We're finished.
Now, I'm not here to try and give you life advice or any of that. I'm not qualified for any of that. I'm just some dumbass French kid who dropped out of college and makes videos on games. I don't know anything. These are just some parallels and observations that I've noticed and connected to the real world, and I just wanted to share with you guys. So let me know what you think down in the comment section. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. I think for me, following Jin's evolution throughout the 25 or so hours of the game has made me feel extremely empowered in my own life. There's more than one way to succeed, especially nowadays. So to my dream chasers out there, all you comic book artists and esports players or future doctors, or literally anybody with a pulse and a goal, just keep doing you. And if you gotta rewrite some rules along the way, then so be it.
Sometimes, our only choice is to walk away from everything we know.
And that's it. I promise the next video will be a little silly or not as serious as this one, but let me know if you like to see content like this. I'm still trying to figure things out, so if you guys like this stuff, let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching. It means a lot that you even made it this far. I'm done being a sappy grandpappy. Hope you guys have a good one. I'll see you later.